Need some suspension work and shocks and brakes, brake pads, lining, steering box, transmission, rear end.
Ka-chow. Just don't see no cars. It works. I love this button.
Always remember, if you ain't first, you're last.
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
It's lights out and away we go.
All right, welcome back to the Unnamed Movie Car Podcast, recording at you live from across Europe, parts of Vegas, parts of Florida. All over the place.
Worldish.
We're talking about the F1 movie, debuted this year from
Huge
Apple.
carbon footprint.
Huge carbon footprint, yes.
That was very good, yes.
Traveling all over the place. We're talking about the F1 movie starring Brad Pitt and Damison Idris.
Yep.
It came out this year, so we're actually doing a new movie.
I know, wow, that's pretty
Not
crazy.
a lot of new car movies these days.
Yeah,
but if you're new to the show, we wait the first 10 minutes
Yep.
without spoilers. Once we are ready to talk about spoilers, you will hear our good old Ecto 1, and that means spoilers will commence. So we're not going to talk about the movie for the first 10 minutes, but we do have something special to talk about, what we did today.
Oh, yeah, true.
So today we went to...
Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Happy golden birthday.
Thank you.
That's great.
I'm 50. I turned 50 on the 50th.
On the 50th.
Of the month.
Would be.
Thank you. We went to the Claremont Collection.
Yeah, totally cool.
Which is a car museum in Chicago that is actually closing, and Meekum Auctions is auctioning off everything.
Yes.
So if you want to buy a cool car, you can. And so we saw some cool stuff. If you want to talk about what we saw,
So we saw Shaquille O'Neal's car,
the main attraction.
Yeah,
Shaquille O'Neal's. Oh, what was that called?
I can't remember.
It was a converted Mustang to look like a 1930s car.
Right, which was hilarious because the steering wheel still said Mustang on
The
it.
entire interior of the car, it's a Zimmer. That's what it's called.
Okay, yeah, Zimmer.
The entire interior of the car was SN95 Mustang.
Yeah.
So like late 90s Mustang.
Right.
And it still had the modular V8, the 4.6 liter, essentially a Crown Vic motor.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was either the 2-valve or the 3-valve.
Okay.
And so that was kind of cool.
Yep.
Shaq's car.
Yeah, no, it was very cool. And so that was fun. We also, obviously, they had the Batmobile, which was...
That was the main reason I brought you, was to see the 1966 Batmobile.
Cool. Yeah, the 1966 version, as we've said before from other podcasts and things, that is obviously my favorite of the Batmobiles. And so very fun to see that. That actually had the working revolving red light on the top.
Yeah, which I ended up turning on for a video.
Exactly.
But
that was very cool.
So Meekum is an auction house, and they are running the auction. The auction is September 19th, 20th, and 21st. If you'd like to buy the Batmobile or the Back to the Future Part 2 DeLorean or the Tim Burton's Batmobile or
that was there too.
The Jurassic Park Jeep or...
that was there too,
what's it called? Black Betty from the Green Hornet?
Black Beauty
from the Green Hornet. They also had the Mystery Machine. I don't know if you ended up looking at that.
Zoinks!
They had one of the cars from Public Enemies there.
Yes, they did. Which
was very cool. So September 19th, 20th, and 21st. If you go to meekum.com, I'll link it in the description.
Well, are we going to say the year? Because if someone's listening to
2025. If you're watching this, not retroactively, but like in the
future.
past that, you already missed it.
Unless you get into the DeLorean, which they had. They had a DeLorean
time machine.
but
you would need to have bought the DeLorean at the auction
Good point.
in order to then take it back in time to the auction.
That is true. You'd have
But you could kind of create a time loop.
I guess you could.
If you bought the DeLorean at the auction, you could just keep taking it back to the day of the auction and re-winning more DeLoreans. Infinite DeLorean glitch.
Yeah, that would be a real good use of a time machine right there, okay?
So what was your experience finally sitting in the 1966 Batmobile? Like one of your favorite cars ever.
Absolutely. It was exciting for me, obviously. It was really so cool to be actually sitting in the seat where Batman would sit, and just really.
You got to pick up the bat phone.
I did. I got to pick up the bat phone and pretend I was talking to Commissioner Gordon, and it was actually very, very cool. I really thank you for the experience because it was.
And thank you to Matt from Meekum as well.
Gosh, yes, shout out to Matt.
Huge shout out to
Brianna,
Meekum and everyone.
Yep, exactly.
That made that possible. Really, really, just a sweet group of people. I feel like people sometimes like have this weird opinion of auction houses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meekum, at least all the people that I've met at Meekum, like they've been so cool, so down to earth, like just kind of car geeks as well.
Yeah.
And they're running this auction, and I'm so excited about it.
Very cool people. Yeah.
But yes, the 66 Batmobile they have, it wasn't screen used.
Yeah.
Very faithful replica. Had everything, had the bat sonar and the lever for the bat turn.
Yep, everything.
It's a lot bigger in person.
It is. It's huge.
In my opinion.
It is an absolutely huge car. When you consider it's a 2-seater.
Yeah.
And it is just so long. It is an amazingly big car. Mm-hmm. Again, it has a jet engine, so of course, there's that. So,
but very cool. We sat in the Back to the Future Part 2 DeLorean.
Yes, that was very cool too. Obviously, yeah.
There was a car there that was previously owned by Jackie Gleason.
Jackie Gleason, yes,
very cool to see that.
Actually, sat in that car. That was actually kind of uncomfortable, to believe it or not.
Oh yeah,
that car was kind of small, but anyway.
Yeah, that was a Excalibur car.
Yeah.
Which again was like kind of a kit car. I don't know when they built them. I want to say like 80s or 90s.
It was.
But again, kind of looked like a 1930s roadster kind of looking thing. But I think they used a small block Chevy in them.
Yeah, and that car. I mean, it was weird to sit behind the wheel and be like, okay, this is what he would have looked out over as he was driving down the road.
Not even what he did. Like that's the cool thing about like this collection too, is that like with Shaq's car and Jackie Gleason's car, it's like it's not like, oh, I'm getting a very similar experience to what these people had. It was like, oh no, this car was like in Jackie Gleason's garage for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the cool thing to me.
Well, and the other thing is that I was very impressed by that 1938 Rolls-Royce.
Oh yeah,
which was so cool to be able to to sit in that car, but it had a weird vibe to it. I'm telling you though, it was kind of a little creepy.
Something in there has to be haunted.
Yeah,
So like next or down the row from that Rolls Royce was Dwight D. Eisenhower's Cadillac.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, that thing's gotta be cursed.
Well, yeah.
Or something.
Well, and then the one thing they had there, which was you pointed out was the oldest vehicle, is really a hearse.
An 1848 horse-drawn hearse.
Yeah, with a coffin in it. That was really.
So there's definitely some spirits something.
There's some weird stuff
floating around there. But what else did you sit in? You sat in the Lamborghini Espada.
Is it? Is that the Espada?
It's a Lamborghini Espada.
It was very, very cool.
Yeah.
Again, it was weird too because the stick shift is kind of up high.
Yeah.
It's weird to think you'd have to shift up that high. Normally, obviously, the cars the shifter is pretty low. But yeah, you actually kind of have to reach up. I felt like a little kid going, "Oh, there's the shifter way up there." So I mean, it is you get, and then they had so many really cool like futuristic cars.
Yeah,
like, they had one called the Ice Princess.
The Studebaker Ice Princess.
Yes, that was very
cool. I think it had 6 wheels. Didn't it have 2 sets of front wheels?
It did. Two sets of front. It was like an ice blue, and it was so cool looking, and it had details on it I can't even explain. It's just kind of very rounded. Everything was rounded.
The double bubble.
Yeah, yes.
Matt, who from Meekum, was explaining to me that they would actually, I forget what they would do, but basically they would like layer the plexiglass or the plastic or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and then they would shoot compressed air into it while it was hot, and it would expand into this like bubble shape.
Interesting.
And I think he said that for that car, the Ice Princess, they had to do it 3 or 4 times.
I bet.
To like really get it right. Because like once it stops expanding, you can't like get it to start expanding again.
Right, yeah.
So it was just like really cool old techniques.
Yeah.
We saw the Golden Sahara 2,
Yes.
which was a George Barris car with the tires that light up.
True George Barris car.
True, yeah. Not. We always joke. We went to a museum
Right.
where he signed every car, whether it was
Right.
his design
Yeah.
or not. Which was very, very cool, and that had like the light up tires, which they actually lit up for us, which was very cool.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Yeah.
That the tires actually lit up.
Yeah,
I mean, not like lights on it, but from inside.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
then
just seems weird.
my favorite car was the Dodge Charger turbo concept, the one that I filmed the video of.
Oh, that was very
And-
cool. What?
These you can't see. I have the keys to the Dodge Charger turbo concept.
How do you have those?
I walked out with them on accident.
Oh my gosh. Whoops. Okay.
After I left the museum,
Wow.
because
All right.
Meekum was very gracious enough to let me film some of the cars.
Yeah, it was
I
great. It
couldn't
was
drive them, but I could, So my rule of thumb is that I have to be able to drive a car in order to review it. That's my base
Okay.
level thing.
Yeah.
But with concept cars, they usually don't run anyway. So like,
Yeah.
that's sort of my caveat. Is like I will review a non-running car if it's a concept car.
Okay. All right.
So I reviewed the Dodge Charger turbo concept, which was it was used as a pace car for the IndyCar races in 1981 and 1982. Just a couple of them, because it was the Camaro for other ones. And I accidentally walked out with keys in my pocket. I went to work
Wow.
afterwards, and I took my house keys out of my pocket, and I was like, why do I still feel like I have keys? And I pulled it out, and I'm like, the heck is this?
Yeah.
And I looked down, there's a little tag on it. It says 1982 Dodge Charger 2.2 turbo pace car.
Well, I guess
And I
it's
went,
yours now.
Oh, shit.
I guess it's yours now.
Yeah, so that's the sound of concept car keys
Car keys.
that I walked out with. So
Very
I,
cool car,
I
though, by the
immediately
way.
alerted Meekum. I'm like, hey, I have the keys. And he's like, no big deal, because the auction isn't for a while. So I'm going to
still.
get them back to him probably next week.
Yeah,
Luckily, they're all in a museum, so they're not moving anyway.
True. Yeah.
But
that's
yeah, I
not
accidentally
going
walked
anywhere.
out with the keys to a concept
Wow.
car.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, and
happens about once a year. I'll walk away with someone's keys. And
and they have in that back room too. They had all the muscle cars and stuff, which is literally like being on the set of Fast and Furious.
well, and it seemed like you were kind of gravitating towards that room as well.
Yeah, it was very cool to me.
Just because you grew up with a lot of those. There was the Gremlins there. They had
the Pacer.
The Pacer.
the
They had a
Pacer,
Pacer
the
and a Gremlin. The Gremlin was a Levi's edition.
Oh,
So that had
really?
the denim seats and all that
Oh,
stuff.
you're kidding.
And then they had that Corvair that had like 20 miles originally on it.
Yes.
Or maybe a Chevy Monza. I can't remember what it was.
Maybe it was I think it was a Monza that
Monza.
had like
20. It had delivery miles on
Yeah,
it,
that was it.
essentially.
Yeah,
So that was a cool room, and that's a lot of what you grew up with. So I
Yep.
think I think we're ready for spoilers. There we go. So spoilers of the
Okay.
F1 movie
All
are
right.
commencing.
so I
We
didn't-
saw this separately in theaters.
we did.
And
I did. I saw it in the theater. Yeah.
I'm very glad you saw it in the theater.
I am too. I'm very happy.
What are your thoughts?
Wow. Cinematography. Let's just talk about that first. Unbelievable. To me,
Unreal.
I thought they were absolutely top notch, first class. I appreciated the cinematography so much. I really thought it was amazing. I thought the shots and the editing between the two, between the cinematography and the editing of the cars, it was absolutely amazing. I mean, it just
Stunning.
really was stunning. Yeah, exactly.
The opening sequence where they're night racing at Daytona.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
a real race.
Is
My
it?
friends have gone to. It's the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Oh, okay.
It's the season opener usually every year, so it's like February.
What's the other one that's a 24-hour? Well, there's
Le
a
Mans.
bunch of them. Le Mans. That's
like
it.
the
That's
big
it.
one.
Yeah,
so like the big
24
one in America is the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Okay.
They also
Okay.
do, I want to say like 24 hours of Laguna Seca, which is out in California. Maybe it's 12 hours. They do like 12 hours of VIR, stuff like that.
Okay. That was cool though.
The opening sequence is amazing, and my buddy used to actually shoot photos at the 24 Hours of Daytona,
Really?
and like
Yeah.
they're the most unreal pictures you've ever seen.
Yeah, I bet.
Because the night racing is just you can't even. I've seen night racing at other races, but
Yeah.
Daytona's kind of the king of it. That to me, that opening sequence, I wish I could just pump it through my veins
Yeah.
every day. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
And
It's- yeah.
I went into this. I saw this with my girlfriend and 4 of her friends. So we all went together.
Really? Yeah.
The day that I went to go see it, I got a text message from a friend who owns a piece of property at a racetrack.
Oh.
And he goes, "Hey, next year we're putting together a race team for a 24-hour race.
Oh, right.
Do you want a race seat?
Wow.
Like, do you want to drive? Like, do you want to drive on our race team in a 24-hour race?"
Yeah.
And I was like kind of hemming and hawing and all this stuff. And then they open up the movie with this 24-hour race, and I'm like, oh my God. like literally, like, I'm almost like getting goosebumps talking about it. Like, I'm like, that could be me. Like, I could. Now, it's way less glamorous, and I would be doing it in a street-ported Mazda RX-8.
Oh, okay.
Which I've already crashed once, but it's fine.
Have you?
Yeah, on track. Well, I didn't crash. I took it out on track. Way overcooked it into corner. Was that corner 5 at Autobahn Country Club? And I spun it off the track. I didn't hit anything.
Okay.
But just way too fast into the corner and just lost the tail end of the car, cold tires, and sent it off.
Well, the hero of this movie crashes a couple cars
all the time, apparently.
Every time.
But yeah, that opening sequence is, in all honesty, not to bury the lead, my favorite part of the movie. And that just like the lights, so the cool thing about night racing is the headlights. So
yeah, I didn't think about that.
You have
You're
to
right.
work with headlights. And like you saw him flashing the headlights in the race, like that's a way to taunt someone. Like flashing your brights, like when you're up behind someone is like basically giving them the finger. Or like, you can kind of taunt people, whatever. Yeah. There's also something called a blind attack.
Okay.
So say the car's in the middle that you're behind, right? You get up to the left of them with your headlights on. You start getting real close on the left. You shut your headlights off. You dart to the right and pass them on the right.
Oh.
So then they're like, all right, he's on my left, he's on my left, he's on my left. And then they lose you for a second. They're like, where the heck did he go? Okay. And they just see your taillights flip on ahead of you.
Yeah.
Which is debatably illegal in IMSA racing. But like, that's like a cool, like, that is like a fighter jet, like going dark moment of like shutting the lights off in like stealth mode.
Yeah. That's
so
very
that
cool.
to me, like that whole opening sequence is just the best. I mean, so cool.
Yeah.
And like it's so cool and it's real. Like that is a real race. That's actually what it looks like. There's fireworks going off all throughout the night.
Really? Okay, so that's the thing. So when I was watching it, I was like, oh yeah. So when are they going to actually have fireworks going on during a race?
This is legit.
Okay, so
and like actually at F1 races,
all right,
there's fireworks all the time to the point where, and we'll get to it. My girlfriend and I are actually extras in this film.
What?
We were there when they were filming some of the scenes. Now we're not in. We didn't make the cut or whatever.
The F1 movie,
the Vegas scenes. They were filming when we were at the Vegas race. I have pictures on my phone of the Apex GP garage.
Wow,
because they actually gave them a real garage on pit lane.
Wow. Okay,
it was down at the very end. Excuse me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But we were there during the filming.
Wow.
And there's a helicopter sequence going over the starting grid for Vegas.
Yeah.
And all this like laser light shows going on. Do you remember this?
Oh, I do. But wasn't there like a helicopter going over the Daytona one too?
Oh,
and it was really low. Like the helicopter
they would not
really low.
fly it that low, but there are helicopters 24/7.
All right.
But if you watch the F1 movie, the Vegas part of it, where they get to the Vegas race, there's this like green laser light show that's going on. We were there for that. It was like,
wow.
Like I have footage on my phone of that. So like the helicopter up above was filming for the movie.
Wow.
Like while we were there, which was super, super cool.
That's very cool. Yeah.
So technically I'm a extra. I'll put it on my IMDb. So walk me through the rest of it, because the opening is 24 Hours of Daytona, not F1, and then it gets into the story of Sonny Hayes and all that.
I thought that I thought that the most exciting part was when he was at the laundromat.
Oh yeah,
that was exciting. That was very. I think it was a. So if you want to talk now about other things besides the cinematography, if you want to talk about the other stuff, obviously, it's a story about a driver, as I remember, because this is, I mean, I watched this a little while back, but it's about a driver who's kind of, I don't want to say washed up, but he is. He hasn't driven in a while. He was a really, really great driver, of course, and you know, could really like win any race he was in, but lost his nerve, lost it. Of course, there was a crash, you know, and all that stuff. And so he just is now, he loves to race, but he's out of professional racing.
So far, you've only described Cars 3. Lightning McQueen starts, you know, he crashes at the beginning of Cars 3.
Right, so.
He loses his nerve.
Right, yeah.
The story to me
yeah,
is very flat.
Oh,
and
gosh,
boring.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And predictable.
It's very predictable, yes.
Do you know what a pick-me is? Are you familiar with this?
No idea.
100-year-old dialect?
Wow. No.
I'm super young, as we learned. So a pick-me, often attributed to a girl, but a pick-me is like someone who's like trying to get attention because like I'm different, I'm quirky.
Okay.
So like a pick-me girl is like it's boiled down to the phrase of like, well, I'm not like other girls. Like someone who like sits in a cafe and reads a book, but just like to try to get noticed. You know, of like someone like, ooh, she's different. You know, everyone's on their phone. She's reading a book. You know what I mean?
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Brad Pitt is a pick-me guy. In this film, because he has his little card that he never looks at, and he puts in his vest. And he's always playing with different cards and lucky number 7 and all that stuff.
I see what you're
literally
saying.
the whole time he's like, I'm just different. I don't touch the trophies. Ooh.
Oh,
you know, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm just like, come on, dude. It's like he's trying so hard to be like quirky and weird and like notice me but don't notice me. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. Like it's very, very pick me.
That's a good way to put it. Notice me but don't notice me.
Don't like no, but don't like notice me. Right. But I want you to notice me. But don't like don't immediately notice me. Like take some time and then notice me. Okay. Like that's what he was like. He was like, do you ever? Idris's character. He's like, do you ever look at the card? And he goes, never. Yeah, I never look at the card. Yeah. And he puts a playing card in his race suit. He shuffles the deck and then he throws every single card, and the last one is like his lucky card, and he puts that in his race suit. Yeah. They make a point of this several different times.
They do, yeah.
He carries dice with him. Yeah. And it's just like, he's like trying to be so different and unique and like superstitious.
Yeah, and they wanted, I mean, he did have supposedly had a gambling problem, so they kind of wanted to show that too, fine, whatever. So that's part of his life or his persona. And then there was the love interest. And
horrible.
Yeah, I didn't buy it at all. Not one little bit. I mean, obviously, okay, any woman is going to fall for Brad Pitt, right? Because like that is a given. Sure. That's like not even a question. Fine. It's Brad Pitt. He could be, could be 1,000 years old. It's still Brad Pitt. He's still going to be attracting women. So that was like not even a shocker to me. And then I didn't like buy her reason why she would be even interested in him. I don't know. It just didn't. There was no chemistry as far as
it seemed shoehorned. Yeah. B, this year, 2025, is the first year that there is a female race engineer on the grid. So Haas F1 team, which as we know is not a great team.
Okay. Well, interesting. Yeah.
They are the first person to have, or the first team in history to have a female race engineer. Okay. Which basically she's the one that's talking to the driver throughout the race.
Okay.
Hey, your tires are getting bad. Hey, so and so's behind. Like communicating to the driver the whole time. Yeah. Because F1 is obviously a very professional thing, and it's very hard to get women into the sport. It's a very male-dominated sport. This being in the movie of like, she's like, yes, she's the female race engineer, but like also the love interest, I just feel like was like so counterproductive to like the actual real life strides that women have made in the sport.
Right.
Like it just felt like, oh, like women can only be the love interest. Like there can't be a female engineer without being a love interest as well. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, exactly. If there was maybe a couple of the couple of the members of the team were female, and they just, like you said, they weren't the love interest. They were other characters. They just simply were other characters in the. But anyway,
it should have been the love interest. Should have been a journalist.
Right.
Should have been
someone outside of that team.
Like maybe like a PT like something outside of the team. Because like now everyone's thinking like, oh, any female race engineer is just she's just there to date the drivers as opposed to like actually being really fucking good at like what they are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that was like super frustrating of just like, oh, like why not do like a crazy fan or something like that? Or like, you know, a fan that was there that watched, you know, him crash back in the day and like had been this lifelong something else. If they had to, which I don't even think it needed a love interest. It was about the team, and all this, it just felt super shoehorn.
Yeah.
The rest of the story was okay. There's a lot of the technical stuff that didn't make sense.
Really?
So like if there's gravel on track that they need to sweep off.
Did it say danger to manifold? Do you remember that?
Essentially. There was like, first of all, if they find out that you purposefully triggered a safety car, I mean, that's a ban.
Okay.
You're getting kicked out of the sport. If you're purposefully triggering safety cars. Sonny Hayes did it, 4 times in one race?
Really?
Yeah, by hitting a bunch of the boards and then because it was trying to get the team the first point. What do you think?
No, I was thinking when you said Sonny Hayes, I'm like, oh, is that some F1 driver who did it?
Sorry.
And no, this is actually in the movie. So he did it like 4 times.
In like one race, like he purposely hits all of the advertising boards, so they have to go clean it up.
Yeah.
That would be a red flag because they would have to have workers out on the track to sweep that stuff up.
Okay, yeah.
So they would have to bring the cars in.
Okay.
Like that would just be completely unsafe to have people out there. And B, if they found out one of the times that you purposefully tried to get a safety car, you'd be done. But he did it like 4 times in one race.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you about because I was watching it. You know a heck of a lot more about F1 than I do. And I was thinking, how realistic is this? The stunts that he's trying to pull, the tricks and things like that, would that work? Would it be pulled off? And it just doesn't seem like.
I mean, like
could really do.
There are tactics and things you could do, like trying to hold up the pack. Like that's a thing that drivers will do.
Okay.
Like purposefully drive a little bit slower so other drivers can't pass to kind of build up a gap.
Oh, okay.
So like, if my teammate is in first. I'm in second. I can drive a little bit slower purposefully to kind of like hold third and fourth place up.
Okay.
So they can't really get around me. Like drive fast enough to where they don't pass me immediately, but like kind of hold them up so then build a gap.
Right.
And ideally, if you build up like a 20-second gap, that's enough for a pit stop.
Okay.
And they could go pit, come back out without losing their position.
Okay, got it.
So like there are tactics like that, but like purposefully causing a safety car, like that's not a tactic.
Okay.
That's like straight up illegal.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Well,
so there was like things like that. There was a little bit of like the number one movie race car sin, which is they just decide to go faster. You know, like Days of Thunder did this a million times where he was like, oh, okay. And then tosses it into a lower gear and immediately passes everyone.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Like in F1, like you can kind of speed up and slow down, but it's like tenths of a second over an entire lap.
Yeah.
You can like kind of improve or not.
That is
like,
true.
There
That
were a
is
couple
absolutely
times where I was
true.
like, come on.
Yeah.
At least they didn't show like any like stick shift stuff because these aren't stick shift. So like they showed a couple paddle shifts, but
yeah, they did. I mean, they did, but you're right, absolutely. So many car movies. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Just go faster.
I'm just gonna go faster.
Like I was just cruising beforehand. Yeah.
I'll put my. Oh yeah. I'll put my foot down.
The pedal goes further. No way. Like so, like that. I was like,
it's
come
true.
on.
That is like the biggest sin in car movies. It's always, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that, but you really nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, that is absolutely the absolute perfect thing. Is like, oh, we're just gonna go fast.
Yeah. Well, like it is. It's funny too because like when watching F1, they have like the radio. Like you can hear the team chatter and stuff every once in a while.
And I did want to say something about that too, but go ahead. I'll mention that.
There, sometimes during a race, like pushing is like going your hardest. Like we need a push lap.
Yeah.
Like we need this lap to be like the fastest you can go.
Okay.
And so like a race engineer will say over the radio, like, you know, we need to push this lap. And 9 out of 10 times the driver's like, yeah, what do you think I'm doing, dude? Like,
really? Yeah.
I'm going 10 tenths out here.
Yeah.
Like, why would I be purposefully not? Like, I guess you could like to like conserve tires or something. Like you might be going 9 tenths or something like that. But it's not like you're like cruising out there getting a coffee or whatever.
I would love to hear him go, oh, I can go faster.
Yeah. Like, what?
I never thought.
I didn't consider. Man, Ferrari this season has been awful with the radio calls.
Oh yeah,
because Charles Leclerc, who races for Ferrari, one of the first races it was raining, and he goes, "I think something's wrong with the car. My seat is wet. My seat is wet." He was like sitting in a pool of water in the car, and the Ferrari engineers go, must be the water." And like everyone quotes that now of like that's the most obvious, like, you dummy. Like, why would you say that to him? Like, obviously it is the water. He's wondering if there's like a leak somewhere or like, you know, because why would the bottom of his seat be wet? Whatever.
It's it's like whatever the voice is. The water's wet.
Exactly.
Water is wet.
So what were you gonna say about the radio stuff?
So one of the things I thought I was very impressed, actually. This is a weird thing from an audio standpoint. They really got down, in my estimation, they got down the audio as far as like the talking to the drivers. That guy, whoever was the character who was talking to the drivers, I think he sounded exactly like the F1.
Do you mean like radio comms or like the announcer?
No, the radio comms. The radio comm guy, when he was talking to him, it sounded exactly like an F1 race, where truly it was that chatter.
The reason I was going to say it, the announcers, where it's like, oh, you know, Sonny Hayes passed. Those are the real F1 announcers.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crofty
I don't think we
and
ever
Martin
see
Brundle.
them. We don't see them in the movie.
No.
But
you never see them during the race either. You'll see them like occasionally. Like I didn't know what they looked like for like a whole season.
And here was the thing too, is that it's obvious that they are giving exposition and they are giving information to the viewer of the movie.
Sure.
You know, it's like, yeah, if he can do this, then he's going to get into first place. And it's like,
that actually is kind of how they talk.
I know. I do. I get that. But they were also, I'm sure I'll see it again, but if you listen to them, they're kind of explaining things that you wouldn't maybe normally explain. But I think they did it in a good way. I think they actually did it like, oh yeah, that sounds like the F1 announcers because it was them. But then also, for the most part, yes, they do explain things like, oh, well, he's going on, hard tires, and so blah, 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 or he doesn't have much tread left or whatever. Not tread, but, he doesn't have much left on the tires. The way they did it, though, did also tell you as the viewer who maybe is not used to F1, oh, here's something he's trying to do. If he can do that, it's going to, and so it helps you understand what's going on in the race. And again, I was thinking about that if they would have had the announcers for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
You know?
He's going to kiss her.
Right. Oh,
He's
and
a
he's
bit
gonna,
nervous.
And he's gonna kiss. Oh, and there he goes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's on the side. You know, whatever.
It's for the rest of the entire film.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, he was dejected.
I will say there was a lot of fan service in the movie.
Oh yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
like, which was funny. Like there was a shot, one of the opening paddock scenes, where this dog walks through the scene. That's Lewis Hamilton's real dog.
Oh,
his
really?
name is Roscoe. He takes him
Okay.
to all the races. He has his own Instagram account. I think
Okay.
he has his own brand deals.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
so,
okay.
and then like they're doing the post-race interview, and I audibly laughed out loud because Brad Pitt is doing a post-race interview, and one of the real drivers comes up behind him and like shakes his hand, like pats him on the back, which like they all do that in real life, but
Yeah.
like Fernando Alonso is the one that did it.
Oh, really?
And he's like,
Yeah.
he's been in the sport for 20 years. He's
Yeah.
one of the oldest guys on the grid.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
And everyone always jokes because they call him a rookie every year.
Okay.
He's been in the sport since 2002.
Okay.
Two-time world champion.
Yeah.
And he just came up behind Brad Pitt and like shook his hand and like he said like good race, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, Fernando's just trying to get in the movie. Like it was like so like shoehorn and stuff, and like seeing the other racers in the background, like it kind of took
I know.
you out a
It
little bit.
did-
I was
it
like,
did. I
yeah,
saw-
that's,
yeah.
that's Carlos. That's my favorite driver.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, when I saw him too, and I
Yeah.
don't know him as well as you do.
Yeah.
When I saw him too, I'm like, oh, that kind of did take me out of the movie for a
Yeah.
second. And it was funny to see them. And Hamilton's in there too, right?
So Hamilton was also a producer on the film.
Right, exactly. I saw his name
and
in the
yeah,
credits.
so,
yeah.
But like he never talks in it, which
No.
is interesting.
No.
Zach Brown, the McLaren CEO, is in it. Like a bunch of the team bosses and team principals were
Wasn't
in it.
the Haas guy in there too?
Yeah, Gunther, which he's
Gunther,
actually,
yeah.
funny enough, between when they shot and when it came out, he's no longer the team principal.
Oh,
Haas fired him.
okay. Oh, wow.
It's Komatsu now.
Okay. Which I thought that was actually kind of funny.
There's like a lot of cameos from like if you're a fan of F1,
Yep.
this is great. Like
I
just
think
like
so too. I
in
agree.
terms of that stuff.
I agree.
It
I
was
agree.
sad because Carlos was in his Ferrari gear and he's no longer at Ferrari. He's at
yeah.
Williams now and has been kind of having a rough go of it.
Okay.
So it was like oh man, the glory days of like when he was actually in a competitive car. The podiums were funny because it was like real drivers on the podiums.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
They would some of the drivers actually won the real race, and then I think it was Abu Dhabi. They had a second fake podium off to the left, and like two of the drivers went over there immediately after and like filmed a fake podium with the characters from the movie.
Got it.
Which was funny because like one of the guys up there like didn't podium in the real race.
Yeah.
So like he had to like go and pretend that he actually podiumed the race after the real race.
Yeah, that's weird.
So like imagine losing and then like, hey, for this movie you have to pretend that you won. Like that's devastating. Like especially like adrenaline's still high, all that stuff.
Well,
but yeah, it was very cool to see like all your favorite teams, all your favorite drivers. Like it wasn't like Days of Thunder where like all the cars were like made up. You know, or like I guess Talladega Nights would be a better, example of like they're all fake.
Right.
You know, Dennett Racing wasn't a real race team.
Right.
It was cool to see that this, they were the 11th team on the grid where there's only 10 right now.
Okay.
So it was cool. Although next year they're adding an 11th team. Very
Are they
exciting.
really?
Yeah, Cadillac.
No.
Yeah.
Cadillac.
So Cadillac's
Okay,
entering F1
wow.
next year. Super excited because they're like a legit American team. Like their headquarters, they have one in North Carolina and they have a headquarters in Indiana.
What was there was one sponsor that they showed constantly.
So we'll get into that. Those
Okay,
are all
okay.
like, so like those sponsors, I don't know which one, but the sponsors are like, they actually paid to be sponsors in the movie, if that makes sense. Like they actually sold.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And to be fair, like they sell Apex GP T-shirts with all the sponsors on it.
Okay,
There's
yeah.
die-cast cars
Yeah.
of the cars from the movie that have all the sponsors on it. Like,
okay. Yeah.
there's like proper Formula One merch like with these sponsors.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy.
I don't know which one you're specifically talking
it was
about.
like I think it was a loan thing or something. I saw it a million times. That's the problem. I
like
saw
CrowdStrike or something like that.
It wasn't
or...
CrowdStrike. It was. I'll know if I hear it, but
sure.
But it was like in every single shot. I mean, it was like in everything.
Yeah.
But that was the. Obviously, I always go back to the Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
And, like the Wonder
Fig
Bread
Newton.
and the Fig Newtons. And
Man, this sticker's dangerous and inconvenient, but I sure do love Fig Newton. I quote that all the time.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, we can talk about the cars specifically for a little bit.
Yeah, let's do
because the
that,
cars
man.
are really cool.
Yeah.
First of all,
Yeah.
Brad Pitt and Damson Idris did their own driving.
Really?
So they apparently insurance limited them to 180 miles an hour.
Okay.
I mean, they're actually driving these things. And I will say, Brad Pitt is a huge motorsport fan.
Is he?
And like true motorsport fan, not like, oh, I watch, one F1 race a year.
Yeah.
He goes to MotoGP, which is the bike racing.
Oh, okay.
He's gone to IMSA. I mean, he's driven a lot of stuff. He's since this movie, he's driven real F1 cars. He drove McLaren's legitimate F1 car.
Wow.
But the cars in the two cars that they used for Apex GP were actually F2 cars.
Okay.
That they dressed up to look like F1 cars.
Really?
If that makes sense.
Okay.
So basically they were making probably like 600 or 700 horsepower, where like a real F1 car is probably making like 1,000 to 1,200 horsepower.
Really?
So it was like way toned down.
Okay.
But they gave it the appearance and aero from like an actual F1 car.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah.
The fictionals teams, this is sponsored or brought to you by, but in no way sponsored by IMDb.
Right. Exactly.
The fictional team's cars in the F1 movie are called Apex GP cars, but they are built using modified Formula 2 chassis with Mercedes F1 designed bodywork to give them the appearance of a modern F1 car. These custom-built cars were equipped with a combination of competition engines for speed and a special electric powertrain for filming in the pit lanes, as well as integrated camera system for capturing high-speed action.
Oh,
So
cool.
basically,
Very cool.
like all the scenes you see them coming into the pits and stuff, like they're in electric mode. They're basically EVs, like low-speed EVs.
Yeah.
They just add the sound in.
Of course, yeah, which is, we've talked about that before, which is a great way to manage the sound.
Yeah.
Is that if you have as little audio as possible,
Right.
and then you add it in afterwards in post, then you can control it.
And actually, in real life, F1 doesn't do this, I don't believe, but NASCAR, all the teams actually now have electric NASCARs. Just for pit training.
Oh,
So like the actual
okay,
NASCARs themselves are big block V8s, 4 speeds,
Right.
the same thing they've been for the last, 5 decades.
Right.
But for pit training, they actually have an electric version. So
Interesting.
they can A, do it inside.
Oh, yeah.
And
okay.
B, like, they're not dealing with fuel, fumes, all that stuff. Like, so when you're training the pit team, they literally have this EV pull up, get the tires off, and then it drives away, like, without the sound, and, like, it's a way to, like, train people.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool that they used a similar technology in this for the pit lane.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I heard, and we'll get into it a little bit, apparently a lot of the cameras used were actually deconstructed iPhones.
Wow.
So they would use like the camera system from an iPhone
Yeah.
and basically get rid of the body
Yeah,
and
okay.
just build those cameras into tiny, tiny little contraptions to
Wow.
put on the car,
Wow, that's cool.
which is super cool.
Yeah.
And I did want to note as well that F2 cars are spec cars. So what that means?
F2. Okay. So,
Not that it really particularly matters for the film.
yeah.
There's Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, which are
Okay.
feeder series.
Okay.
So like you join F4, which like you join from like either karting or another series like Spec Mazda
Okay.
or something like Spec Renault or something, and then you join Formula 4. Then when you're really good in Formula 4, you join Formula 3. When you're really good in Formula 3, you join Formula 2. Formula 4, 3, and 2 are spec series, meaning everyone has the same exact car.
Oh,
You can
okay.
set it up differently. Like
Yeah.
you can give, the wheels a little bit more camber, toe, whatever.
Right.
But they're all the same chassis. They all come from one factory. They all have the same power plants, all that stuff.
Okay, yeah.
F1 cars are not.
Okay.
So each team is up to designing their own car. There's limits, but everyone always says like, oh, the Red Bull looks nothing like the Ferrari. If you're not looking for it, like they look identical, not looking for it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But like if you look at like the side pods of a Red Bull, it has these big side pods that suck air in. If you look at the side pods of the Mercedes, there's almost no side pod.
Okay.
They draw air differently, and
Okay.
it's all shapes, whatever. So I thought that was interesting, is that this Formula 2 car was a spec series, but
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah, and definitely, I mean, I had no idea that it was an F2 dressed up to look like an F1, and
which
stuff
is
like
super.
that,
And like people are like, oh, it's an F2 car. Like it's not a Ford Aspire. Like these things are still like they were limited to 180 miles an hour. Like F2 is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
I've been next to a Formula 1 car, but I was at a shop that was building a Formula 4 car.
Oh,
Which was very cool.
Yeah.
And I have a possible opportunity to drive a Formula Mazda, which is basically an F1 car with a rotary engine.
no.
Yeah, I
that's
got
cool.
a text about it, so
All right.
we'll see if that happens. But driving a single seat race car it's the coolest thing in the world.
So if you get into that F1 with the rotary
Yeah.
and you try and start it, it goes,
Wait.
right.
Yeah.
So what you're hearing right now is Zach reenacting a
like
lot of
7 years of my life.
yes,
Trying to
because
start my car.
He had for those who don't know, you had an RX-7.
I had a red 1985 Mazda RX-7 with
Yeah.
a 13B swap in it.
Yep.
Then I had a very short time. I had a second gen RX-7.
That was
for
pretty
a
cool.
night.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty cool car. Though. I like
missed that car as well.
I think it's
And then
cool.
I had another first gen RX-7 in blue that also had a 13B swap.
Yeah.
Rotary engines, because I recently drove a rotary for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
I do miss it. Rotary engines are the absolute best and the absolute worst. Like it's the highest of highs and lowest of lows. When a rotary engine works, and I remember, I'll never forget the night we actually got my car to work.
Yeah.
Because we could never get the actuators to open. It's a 6-port motor.
Okay.
And so above 5,000 RPM, these actuators were supposed to open to help more fuel and air get into the engine.
Okay. Yeah.
Mine never worked.
Huh.
And so after 5,000 RPM, it wouldn't add more fuel. So like it would still rev, but like it didn't make much power up above 5,000,
Right,
which is
right.
where the rotary kind of works. I know
Yeah.
we're really getting into inside baseball here. But like once we opened those up, it pulled like a freight train to about 9,000 RPM.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I remember I was listening to this certain song on a back road in Northern Illinois where the shop was that we were building this thing. And I just, but then like, I also think of like the heartache of every time it didn't start, every time it broke down, every time I had to push it out of an intersection.
Yeah.
Like it was just.
We threw it on the flatbed many times and just,
It honestly, not that many. A handful for sure.
a handful for sure. I remember those cold days.
Yeah.
And
There was several times, or like, I pushed it home several times, like with another car or something like that, or flat towed it. But, so the Formula Mazda was a spec series in the late 2000s.
Oh, okay.
That used the Mazda RX-8 13B. And they make like 250 horsepower and weigh 1,100 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So you're making double the horsepower of a Miata while weighing half of what a Miata weighs. Like, incredible.
Yeah. That is
Anyway,
incredible. Yep.
tangent.
So
Which we've been pretty good about staying
We've
on
actually
tax,
been very,
I will say.
very good.
Another thing, Apple created custom cameras to mount to the cars. They were operated by a remote control designed by Panavision, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah.
Each car had 15 mounts and could carry up to 4 cameras at a time to minimize weight, or minimize weight. The cameras were only 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. Which I'm pretty sure is an iPhone camera.
Yeah.
A quarter of the size of those used in Top Gun Maverick.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
Forbes estimated that the film made $40 million from sponsorships and brand deals alone.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty
Wow.
cool. Which I was going to say maybe more films will do that. Films do that all the time, actually.
Oh, they always do. Yeah.
GM
They
and
do.
Transformers, which I
Yeah.
did recently go back and watch all 3 Transformers movies.
Yeah.
Which, yes, there are only 3. I will not be taking any questions. There are 3 Transformers movies, and that is it.
Okay.
It's done. I turned on the Age of the Beasts or whatever,
Okay, yeah.
where the Transformers transform into animals.
Oh, really?
We might want to do an episode of it. The CGI took a huge step back.
It did.
I mean, it was like
8-bit graphics.
What's that movie? Not Running Down a Dream. Is it Running Down a Dream?
Maybe.
That has the music video in the 80s.
Oh,
That looks like Minecraft.
No, that was I Want My MTV. That was oh no, what was the name of it? Okay, we do this all the time, but it was the band was Dire Straits.
Yes.
Dire Straits. And the song was Money for Nothing.
Money for Nothing. Yeah.
That was
the
yeah,
weirdest.
Dire
If
Straits,
you
Money for
want
Nothing.
a fever dream, look up the Money for Nothing music video.
Yeah,
it was like the first music
one
video
of
to
the-
have digital
it was
animation
one of the first. Well, it was one of the first to have 3D animation
in the late
Technically.
80s.
Technically 3D animation, and
Tough.
it was, but at the time, come on, at the time,
I
was
can't
cool.
believe I was scared of Terminator 1. That stupid stop motion, not Ed 209. That's I'm mixing my
You are
science fiction genres.
Terminator versus
Which we've never done RoboCop.
No, we haven't.
We could talk about the Ford
We
Tauruses.
could do that. Yeah, we could talk about that for sure.
But yeah, so tangent over.
Yeah, right.
Brad Pitt and Damson Idris did all their own driving. It speeds up to 180 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know, insurance capped them.
Yeah.
The insurance for the film was like absolutely no more than that. Which
I'm
like
sure.
they were actually complaining about. The original speed limit that they set was like 140,
Oh,
which you would think is like, oh, that's plenty fast.
yeah.
These cars require a lot of speed for the downforce to work.
Oh,
So like
okay.
how
All
a
right. Yeah.
spoiler works, right?
Yeah.
Is the faster you go, the more it pushes down on the car,
Right.
which pushes it on the road.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
You need a certain amount. Like it's more dangerous to drive an F1 car slow than it is to drive it fast.
Oh, okay.
It's like basically an inverted plane wing.
okay.
So like the faster you drive it, the more it sticks to the road.
Got it. Okay.
So like they were capping it at 140 and they're like, we're spinning out because like we don't have enough speed to keep the car on the road.
Oh,
And the brakes, which are I think like carbon ceramic, they have to have, they're designed to be beat on for 2 hours. So they have to
Yeah.
have heat in them in order to work.
okay. That
so
makes
like
sense
if you're not
too.
braking hard enough,
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
like it's actually more dangerous to like be light on the brakes.
Got it. Yeah.
So
Okay. That makes
that's
sense.
interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah.
I just lost my place. Brad Pitt drove a modified Dallara F2 car. Brad Pitt has been a long avid fan of auto racing. Pitt was originally set to star alongside Tom Cruise in Go Like Hell, which John Krasinski directing, but the project fell apart due to budget reasons and later became Ford vs. Ferrari. So the original name for Ford vs. Ferrari was Go Like Hell, which is a nod to when Carroll Shelby holds the sign up, funny enough,
okay.
also at Daytona,
Yeah.
because they were limiting the Ford GT and what?
to go faster. 'Cause
Yeah,
no one
exactly. Well, okay, that is one instance where like it actually was like because they were limiting it to 6,000 RPM.
Oh, right,
and
that's
he
right,
runs
yeah.
out with the chalkboard that says 7,000
Yeah.
plus.
Okay.
Go like hell.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And then Ken Miles magically passes everyone.
He actually puts his foot down on the gas.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt has since produced and narrated the MotoGP documentary Hitting the Apex. In 2016, Pitt had the honor of taking a lap around the circuit before the 24 Hours of Le Mans in France. So like he's done like
cool.
legit
Yeah.
racing and stuff like that, which was definitely nice to
Was
see.
he one of the producers? Because it seems like he just wanted to do this movie.
I believe so. If he was in the interviews that I listened to, he has a great interview with Dax Shepard, the armchair expert.
Okay.
Which I'm not Dax Shepard's biggest fan, but it was an interesting listen.
Okay.
And he was talking about how they've been trying to get some type of F1 movie made for like a decade.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if maybe he was just like attached to it or whatever. But very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah.
While they didn't participate in the races, every interior shot of the actors behind the wheel is actually them. So Pitt recently mentioned that he racked up over 6,000 miles in the car, which makes him quite an experienced driver in the sport. So he did 6,000 miles in the movie car.
Pretty
like,
amazing.
That's
yeah.
a lot.
That is a lot. Yeah.
Like that's what across the U.S. and some.
Yeah.
Probably almost exactly like New York to L.A. is
Right.
probably close to 6,000. Might be less.
Yeah, I
Might
think
be
it's
more
less
than
than
like maybe like Maine to San Diego or something
right.
like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot of miles in a Formula 2 car.
That's a quarter of the way around the world because the world is 25,000
Yeah,
miles.
that's
around.
a great way to look
so
at it.
About
yeah.
a quarter of the entire. I mean,
The
that's
equator. Yeah, that's a lot
that's
of
a
miles.
lot of miles. That's
Yeah.
a lot of miles. So,
So
yeah.
like, say what you will, like they did put the
Yeah, okay.
the story
All right.
failed it, but like the realism for certain parts was there.
You know, it would be funny if they had a really bad green screen behind them or something.
Yeah.
They were racing, and it was like very obvious.
Ooh, whoa, hey.
Whoa.
His hands aren't even on the wheel. Prior to filming,
yeah.
Pitt and Idris tested Formula 3 and Formula 2 cars at the Paul Ricard in France, which that's a track.
Okay.
Sonny Hayes' crash in the 90s is based on Martin Donnelly's crash in Spain.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's the shot of him like laying in the middle of the track.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a real shot from a real guy.
Oh my gosh! Really?
I thought it looked so CGI.
Yeah.
And I'm sure parts of it were, but I went back and like they not like copied. They literally took this one guy's story. He had a back injury. He crashed. He was ejected from the car in the 90s. He was racing a yellow Camel sponsored F1 car.
Wow.
And like he was out in the middle of the track, like that. His Sonny Hayes' whole backstory is a real story of this guy Martin Donnelly.
I thought. I mean, that scene with him in the middle of the track was, to me, actually like shocking and weird.
Yeah.
And I because normally, like now, you don't see that. They're so buckled in.
Thankfully,
Yes,
there hasn't been a death in F1 since 2014.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that because
There was a death in F2 in 2019.
Oh, okay.
At Spa.
But
yeah, but
it is amazing.
I mean, watching the old seasons and like I know
Yeah.
you hate it, but Rush, like in that era, like a racer or a driver died a year.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
up and really until the 90s, like they died all the time.
Yeah.
Like all the time. So like we are very fortunate that currently the racing is so not, I don't want to say so safe.
Yeah.
People get hurt. You know, Roman Grosjean in 2020 went up in flames. He badly burned his hands and leg. They called him the Phoenix because he walked out of the fire. Like people thought he was dead. Like there's this incredible shot. His the visor of his helmet boiled.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
I mean, like just crazy stuff. Like he lost most of the motion in his left hand, but other than that, like he's alive, which is crazy.
which is crazy.
But
And-
like you don't really see the catastrophic stuff like that anymore.
right.
They design the F1 cars. They have the safety cell.
Yeah.
So like basically the car is designed to detach itself from the engine behind it.
Okay.
They have the halo now,
Right.
which
Yes.
goes over the driver.
Yep.
Which, interestingly enough, since the last time we recorded, I actually drove a single seat race car on a racetrack with a halo.
Yeah.
It's called the Rush SR, and it's a little Kawasaki 1000cc rear engine, like full race car.
Okay.
Like cage, like all that stuff. And it had a halo, and like it has the stick
Right.
in your vision.
Yeah.
And this whole time I'm like, I'm just gonna stare at this stick. I have no. You block it out of your vision like lap 1.
Really?
Because you're looking at apexes, you're looking
Yeah.
at the other cars, you're looking at spacing and all that stuff. I thought that it was going to be a huge nuisance, and it really isn't. And it has proven itself. I mean, Zhou Guan Yu, he's a Chinese driver.
Yeah.
Rolled really bad 2 years ago. His life was saved by the halo.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton probably would have gotten killed if it weren't for the halo, because a wheel came down.
Wow.
A car went up and over him, and the wheel came down and hit the halo instead of hitting his head.
Jeez, wow.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's gotten a lot safer. That being said, it was very jarring to see.
It was jarring. That was a good term for
And
it.
then I was
That's
like,
a good term.
I was like,
it was jarring.
There's no reason he would be out in the middle of the
Right.
racetrack, like curled up.
Yeah.
I later found out that was real footage of
That's
the guy.
scary.
It was
Because
kind of funny to see like the older pics of Brad Pitt in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, like there's so much footage of Brad Pitt in the 90s. Like deep faking that is like super easy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they just like pulled this like shot from Fight Club or like, whatever.
right. Yeah, from Thelma and Louise or
Exactly.
something.
You're like, some
like
late.
when he was like in his teens or whatever. Yeah.
When he dated Phoebe and Friends or something like that, or dated
really?
Rachel on Friends for like a 2-episode arc.
Oh,
or
I
something.
didn't know.
So they just like pull.
Yeah, I just pulled that. So
They're just like, hey Ross, what's up? They don't even. They just cut a scene from
it's
Friends.
not even. It doesn't even match at all.
Yeah.
It's
But I did think that was
Yeah.
interesting.
it was interesting, and it's funny too that you talked about Ford versus Ferrari, because Matt Damon was in Ford versus Ferrari.
He was.
Which is, I mean, he and Brad Pitt have been in movies together. And
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
obviously. So I think that's kind of funny. But
But yeah, Donnelly crashed into a guardrail and suffered head trauma, collarbone, tibia, fibula, and femur fracture, in addition to lung and neck injuries, ending his F1 career.
wow, yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. And I'm hoping they cleared it with the family or something like that.
I'm
They weren't
hoping-
just like,
yeah, I'm sure
hey,
that-
here's some old footage. Like, hey,
we
let's
found
bring
some
up
footage.
this.
Yeah.
The movie production approached Williams Racing for use of their wind tunnel for 4 days, interrupting the team's 2025 F1 race car development schedule.
Yeah.
The FIA was on hand to monitor the arrangement and to make sure that the team didn't gain any technical advantage. The scale model of Brad Pitt's Apex GP F1 race car was significantly different than the Williams FW47 chassis. So basically, there's the FIA, right? They are the governing body of F1.
Okay.
They also, they're the governing body of World Rally, and like they do a bunch of series.
Oh,
but
okay,
basically,
okay.
they're kind of like the government.
Gotcha.
And so, like when if you win the championship for F1, the next year you get, it's not a real number, but let's say you get 1,000 hours in the wind tunnel. You're only allowed to develop your car in the wind tunnel for 1,000 hours.
oh,
The losing team that got 10th place
Yeah.
gets like 2,000 hours. So like it's kind of a trying
okay.
to like help them develop and whatnot. So like there's actual FIA people that go to the factories and like have a stopwatch, and they're like, all right, you guys were in there for an hour and a half today. So like you used up an hour and a half of
Really?
Yeah. Because like they don't want teams gaining a huge advantage. There's almost no preseason testing. There is FIA preseason testing, and they stream it online and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, you can't be like, oh, we designed this wing. Let's go take it out back and see how it does.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that.
No?
So like, you could do simulations and stuff like that. But like, the first time they drive their car is that practice session in February.
Huh.
And then they have like a week to sort it out, and then the season starts.
Interesting.
It's very like back in like the 70s, the Niki Lauda stuff, like
Yeah.
where they're testing it and he's going 2 seconds a lap faster and all
Yeah.
that stuff. That doesn't happen anymore.
Okay.
So that's why
Interesting.
they actually, for the movie, they had a real FIA person there
Wow.
to make sure that the wind tunnel they were borrowing wasn't like gaining an advantage. And they made the movie car so different than the car, than a real car. So then, like, if they did a wind tunnel scene and they're like, oh, this rear wing is actually super aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Let's add that to our real car.
Got it. Okay.
You,
Yeah.
you know, they wouldn't do that. So like that's how like, you know, crazy this stuff is.
Yeah. Wow.
The film was originally proposed as a sequel to Days of Thunder.
Really?
I don't know how that would have worked. I don't know
exactly. Not
much about
sure,
that, but
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it, I guess.
This is the second Formula One related film scored by Hans Zimmer. The first one
I was gonna
being
say that.
Rush, directed by Ron Howard. Your favorite film.
No, I mean, when I did see that in the beginning, I saw Hans Zimmer did, and I was like, yes, he did the music. I think you and I are both fans of Hans Zimmer, and
funny enough,
yeah,
I think I've told this before. I walked past Hans Zimmer.
Yes, you did mention that before.
At
yeah.
the Las Vegas GP where they filmed that scene.
Wow.
So I get off a plane, get in a taxi, and the most angriest man in the world.
Really?
Literally, my girlfriend and I, we always joke about this. We got a taxi from the Vegas airport. So we went to the 2024 Vegas GP, Vegas Grand Prix.
Yeah.
We flew in the day of, got a taxi, and just said, go to the Strip, like wherever.
Right. Yeah.
And this dude, our taxi driver, was so pissed off about all the traffic. It was the only time in real life we actually saw someone non-ironically go like tisk, 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 and shake his head and like thump his foot. Like Bugs Bunny when he disapproves.
Really?
He's like, this dude cut me off. Like I can't do it properly, but he actually did like a tisk, tisk, tisk.
Wow.
Drops us off. We get dropped off at the Venetian.
Yeah.
And we start to walk. Well, first we stop at Abercrombie because Abercrombie had the McLaren F1 car in it.
Yeah.
Which the cool thing about F1 is like they take over a city. It's really a traveling circus.
Mm-hmm.
So we go see that. We walk across the Sky Bridge. Walking the other way is Hans Zimmer. And I immediately turned to my girlfriend. I'm like, I think that was Hans Zimmer. And she was like, that definitely was. And I was like, that's so cool. I wish I said something, but whatever. Yeah. We walk into the Venetian. Another F1 car's in the Venetian.
Wow.
We go to a jewelry store because we were looking at engagement rings, and they had diamond encrusted F1 jewelry.
Jeez.
And then we go to the race. We get our seats. We get the food, eat, whatever. As soon as the race is over, we Uber to the airport, sleep in the terminal, fly home, no hotel.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, we saw Hans Zimmer. I thought it was cool that he scored it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
He there's this whole thing in here. I don't think I included it, but basically Hans Zimmer did a mix of orchestra and electronic music in it, and he said that was on purpose. That was the harmony because orchestra is very human and electronic is very machine, and he made the human and machine side kind of work together for the music because in the car it's man and machine.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. So I thought that was cool. I
thought the
love Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, me too. I thought the music was great.
I have tried to get tickets to his Chicago shows. The last 4 years. They're like $500 a piece, and they sell out in minutes.
Wow.
And like I've wanted to go, but it's just
it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Both Ruben and Joshua are shown driving Mercedes-AMG SL63 Roadsters as part of the film's product placement and arrangement. Ruben's car, shown early on when he's recruiting Sonny in Florida, has a slightly obviously personalized license plate, SL63AMG. So his license plate is literally like the name of the car, just to really bash it home.
Right, yeah.
That's all I have for trivia.
Okay.
As I'm sure we're getting towards the end, it feels like we've been going for a hot minute here.
Yeah, it's an hour 7.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's right at our target.
Yep,
so,
it is.
Would you change the channel?
No, actually, I wouldn't change the channel because I am just so enamored by that the cinematography, the editing, the music.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like tuning into it for the story because the story again was very predictable. The ending was unbelievably predictable. Like I literally could have like written it on a napkin in the theater and handed it to someone next to me.
I would love a sequel of Sonny Hayes doing the Baja 1000.
Yeah.
That's like where he ends up. He's like, oh, you guys are looking for a driver, right?
Exactly. That would be cool. I mean, because you could do other things with that character, obviously.
Right.
So it was nice that they left it like that. But again, I didn't buy the love story. I didn't
Yeah.
buy a lot of the story, like you said, it was very flat. Oh, there is one thing though, that crash that his not, I want to say protege, but his partner, the other
Yeah.
driver.
Yeah.
Remember when he was telling him, "Oh, don't go slow around the curve, and then when you get around the curve, speed up."
Yeah.
And then he doesn't, and then there's a big car crash, right?
Yeah.
That reminded me of Speed Racer because that crash was so intense with fire. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you don't, and I don't know, maybe I haven't seen a lot of them, but you don't see a lot of fiery crashes anymore.
Yeah, the one with Roman Grosjean was, but
Yeah.
like other than that, they're not usually fiery.
Not usually. This was
Yeah.
like a ball of flames
Yeah.
that was like it was like a dynamite factory blowing up. But anyway, yeah. So as far as like, again, the cinematography and stuff, story, I wouldn't even have to have the
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to have the audio on for the sound, but just for the music. Sound effects are great. I think the way that they did the audio for like the headphones and the inside driver, all that stuff, I think was really so well done.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. What about you? Would you change the channel? Would you?
Here's the thing: the best F1 movie is the TikTok edits that I see of like people doing montages of scenes to like some song. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
You're not on TikTok, so like,
No, I'm not.
a big thing on TikTok is people do edits. They just call
Okay.
them edits, and that's
Okay.
like they'll take a bunch of scenes from the movie and like put it to like a hip hop song or like Rocky's Eye of the Tiger,
Okay.
essentially whatever.
Gotcha.
And they make it basically. I think like there's so many people on TikTok that should like definitely cut trailers. Like that is something
Really?
that like
Yeah.
oh yeah, you'll get like crazy edits that like just are like mind blowing, like the transitions. and
Okay. Yeah.
all this stuff. There's actually a really good one for the Gran Turismo movie that I
really?
watch
Yeah.
like all the time. I'll show you what
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean later.
All right.
That's my like I would love like a visual, basically I guess just like a moving background, like if I could just put up on the
Right.
screen like all the Daytona scenes, and it is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
shot so beautifully. But again, like I guess maybe I would want to watch it again, like maybe like before the last race of the season or like right before the next season starts of like real F1.
Yeah, okay,
To like
yeah.
kind of get me in
Yeah.
the mood, get me
Yeah, okay.
back in the headspace
Right.
of, and it's just funny to see the drivers in the background and
Yeah.
Fernando's little, cameo and whatever. But yeah, I think the story fell really flat, and it was, you know what? It was a little bit of a bummer, but also at the same time, I was like, I expected that. I didn't expect this like killer great
Right.
story.
Right.
The fact that this was the biggest paycheck that Brad Pitt has ever gotten, like $40 million to do a video, to do a movie, like it's kind of wild. I think he's played way better characters in the past.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
yeah, I mean, like you said, visually stunning,
Yeah.
plot wise, but
Yeah.
like
No, I get it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, it was visuals, music, sound, great stuff, and then they kind of had to like paste in some other stuff,
Yeah.
in
I feel like
between
they
in the
made
stories
like
and
all these
stuff.
like crazy awesome montages, and they're like, oh crap, that's like 30 minutes. We need to fill 60 more minutes. Actually, it was kind of a long movie. I think it was over 2 hours.
It was a long movie.
So
yeah,
they were like,
but-
oh, we got to film another 190 minutes or whatever.
yeah, let's throw in some characters.
Yeah,
and,
let's.
you
I
know.
guess we'll give it a story while we're
Right.
here.
Yeah,
but yeah. But yeah, I don't think I'd change the channel. But yeah, I wouldn't like sit down and like lock in and be like,
Yeah.
ooh, what's gonna happen? It's
Yeah, I know it's again, it's one of those that I would. It's just very visual
Yeah.
and senses and stuff, and it's not like again, it's not a character thing. Actually, I do think from a character, I think Cars was more character driven. I think I was
more
the story-
redeeming, better
Yeah,
character.
I mean the story was
Yeah.
much, and you have to remember too that with Pixar and especially the early Pixar movies, they were meticulous with the stories. They went through those stories with a fine-tooth comb again and again and again and again and again, because when you are spending that much time and effort in 3D animation and stuff, is back then when it was really, really tough to do, you had to have a good story. It had to be spot on. It had to be as perfect as possible. Toy Story, Cars, things like that. It had to be so solid.
Yeah.
Because you were putting so much into the animation stuff. So those beginning early Pixar movies, Finding Nemo, Cars, Toy Story, Monsters Inc., all of those had great stories.
Wall-E.
Yeah, Wall-E. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think Wall-E was one of the last ones that really hit it out of the
for
park.
Pixar, I think,
Yeah.
honestly, and there's a lot of things that happen with them over the years, but
that's for another day.
that is for another day, absolutely. So we have to think about. I don't know what our next.
I have several ideas floating around in my head.
Did we do? We didn't do. Like, you were talking about RoboCop. I don't think we did RoboCop.
We haven't done RoboCop. We haven't done Speed, which I feel like is a big one.
I think you keep mentioning Speed.
There's also I keep seeing in the $5 bin at my local Walmart.
Yeah.
This movie Monster Trucks.
Monster Trucks.
Have you seen?
No, I've not.
Where the trucks are like monsters, like Monsters Inc. monsters.
Right. Okay.
But they hide in trucks.
Oh. What?
Yeah, it seems kind of offbeat and weird. And I just looked, they added it to Paramount Plus.
Well, it might be one to do with Leo.
Oh, yeah. It seems more kid-oriented.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of animated.
Yeah. Yeah, we should have done Blood
What?
Car with Leo. That would have been a good
we
one,
definitely
too.
should have.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll find some other Halloween stuff.
Yeah, we'll find something.
But what else? There was
a shout out to Jory's dog Bella.
Shout out to Jory's dog. Shout out to Paul Shin.
Paul Shin, one of our favorites.
Shout out to shout out to the Meekum auctions, man.
Yeah,
if you're doing
absolutely.
nothing September 19th, 20th, 21st, you want to buy some cool classic cars.
Yep.
Not
Big
a sponsor of the show. They were just really cool for letting us
Super
go
cool
and check
people.
it out.
Yep.
So that'll be linked on YouTube. It'll be linked in the description. I don't think I can link stuff on Spotify, can I?
I don't think so. I
don't know how that would happen.
I don't know.
Listen, open a web browser, type in Meekum Auctions, Larry's Legacy.
Oh, that's right. It's
And
Larry's
you'll
Legacy.
find all the cars that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Don't be lazy. Type it in.
Yep. That sounds good. So,
all right.
We'll just leave you with
Wrong film.
Okay. My bad. All right. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.